Hello everybody, welcome back to King Explosion Resale. I'm Noah. Today I want to tell you about my 5 best flips since I've been reselling. So I'm going to do this from smallest profit margin to largest profit margin. That is the way I'm going to grade it, from how many times what I spent I made. So let's get to the first item. I'm going to show pictures of the completed sales along the way. Sadly, other than the top item, it was sold over a year ago, so I cannot get to the actual listing, but I will show a picture of what it looked like and give some details about it. So number 5 is this air purifier and cleaner. I paid $20 for this item and I ended up selling it for $250, and it was actually within 3 hours of listing it, so I probably could have listed it for more, but I was very glad to see it moved out quickly. My brother actually found it with me at the Goodwill, and he pointed it out, and I looked it up and I had to grab it, and it was just a really great sale, even though that's the smallest profit margin of the 5 items. Next is this Nike putter head cover. I only paid $2 for this and ended up selling it for $35, which ended up being over 17 times what I actually paid for it. I was honestly excited when I saw it. I pulled it out of a $2 bin at Play It Again Sports. I knew it looked great, and I knew Nike stopped making golf clubs and covers, so I knew that this would be a good pickup, especially just for a $2 chance, and I was very happy with the results. Number 3 was an Orvis briefcase. My brother actually kind of pointed this out too. I had my eye on it as well, but he pointed at it and told me some other people were looking at it. Thankfully, they walked away, and I picked it up for $10, and I ended up selling it for $400, which is obviously a 20 times profit margin. On all of these, of course, there were fees and shipping along the way, but I'm just going by what I actually sold the items for, and this was 20 times, and I was very, very excited to sell it. I think it was within a day of listing it. I took an offer. I listed it for $700 just because I didn't know exactly what it could sell for, and I accepted an offer of $400, which, 20 times my money was definitely fine with me. Next was this Panasonic bread maker. I found this at a Goodwill. I only paid $10 for it. You can find a lot of bread makers for cheap. Some of them are not worth very much, especially like the Osters. Some of the cheap ones of those aren't worth very much, but this Panasonic one was a great pickup. Paid $10 for it, and I sold it for $220, which is 22 times what I spent. Obviously a great pickup, one of my highest margin items that I've ever sold, and I was just very, very happy to find it. I actually had to look through some that had sold already. They were selling very fast, and some people were only charging about $90 to $100, and I had seen one that had sold for $220. It wasn't that long ago, and I just figured as fast as they were selling, I could probably get that out of mine. It worked perfectly, so I listed it for $220. I believe I sold it within 2 days. So very good sale. That's number 2 on my list. Last but not least is my best sale of all time. This Singer Featherweight 221K sewing machine. I found this at Goodwill for $15, and I looked it up and I couldn't believe honestly what they were selling for. I had seen some sell for $700 or $800 similar to mine, but none of them had the case, none of them worked perfectly, none of them looked as good, and none of them had all of the items with it. The belt was actually dry rotted, so I ordered a replacement belt off of Amazon. I think it was $10 or something for free shipping, and I put it on. It sold. It took a while to sell. I think it was about 6 months or so, or maybe 3. So it took a while. I listed it in auction, and it went off a couple times without selling, but then someone finally bid on it. It only did get one bid, but the starting bid was $1,250. So an item that I paid $15 for and sold for $1,250 plus shipping, being 83 times my money, by far is my biggest sale and my biggest profit margin that I have ever made since I've been reselling. But sadly, I cannot get to the original listing because it has been over a year, and I can only get to listings that have sold within the last 3 months. Anything older than that, I cannot even see at all. But I know I sold it, and I have the feedback for it. It was my first feedback on eBay, but I just really wish that I could have shown everyone the listing. And I just want to show an honorable mention. Again, I can't show the actual listing. I can show kind of a partial listing because I sold a few pieces to this customer. I ended up finding more and contacting the buyer, and he wanted to buy all the rest of the items. It was silver soldered hotel dishware, and I paid a total of $300 for all of the items included, and I ended up selling for a total of $1,000. I can't show the whole listing because I sold all the other items through PayPal. I got $850 on PayPal, and this one was $150, but again, totaling $1,000. Since I paid so much for it, I couldn't put it on the list because the profit margin wasn't that large, but it was the second biggest item as far as total sale amount. So anyway, guys, that's all for today. I just wanted to show you some of the things to be really looking out for, some things that can really make you some money and get you into some high profit margins, and can really just make reselling worth it and very, very exciting. Thanks for watching. I hope you all have a great day.